Namaste. Welcome to Jack Colley's Black Book. We are on episode 32. And today what I wanted to talk about was this idea of faking it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. And maybe try to convince you that there's actually a lot of empirical evidence and anecdotal evidence to this idea that you can actually fake something and your body will experience the same chemistry as if you were experiencing the actual event. Now, we had introduced Fake It Till You Make It in the last episode where we kind of wrapped up just a few thoughts on kind of working on our inner racist, which I'd probably make an argument that every single one of us is racist in some way, shape, or form, that to some extent it's natural, but we have to be very cautious and very aware when we cross that line from acknowledging that we recognize people who are different than us, but then we take that extra step and we actually attach a value and we devalue them or evaluate them as worth less than ourselves. And the idea was fake it till you make it. If you are having an interaction with an individual, with a member of a group that perhaps you have not the best feelings for, or perhaps you have generalized some feelings toward, see if you can engage that individual as if that characteristic that puts them in a different group in your mind, as if that characteristic didn't exist. And I believe through faking it till you make it, your body will experience the chemistry of a successful engagement with another person, or a good experience with somebody who's different than you. And my hope is that you will see that it will be okay. And we can do this with racism, we can do this with sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, gender expression. We can do this in all sorts of different ways. But here's what I do with my college students. I have them close their eyes, and what I have them do is I say, okay, put all of your muscles at rest. So just kind of let your whole face just kind of sag. No muscles are engaged. And then I say to them, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, so 0 is complete happiness and maybe 10 is anger. So we're going to take a look at kind of this spectrum. Evaluate where you're at. Now, if your muscles are all relaxed and you're in kind of a neutral spot, let's just say that that's a 5. And then what I say to them is I say, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to engage the muscles that you engage when you smile. And we slowly take just several seconds and we engage those muscles that you engage when you smile, which means your cheekbones go up. I find myself smiling as I say this, so my cheekbones are going up. My eyes seem to have more energy to them. My mouth is open. I'm breathing a little bit more clearly. So I engage all of these muscles. And then I say to my college students, okay, where did that scale move? So if you were at a neutral 5, did you get angrier by engaging your smile muscles, or did you feel happier? And most of my college students would say that it actually had a positive effect on their attitude, on their demeanor, on how they felt. So the idea that you can fake it until you make it. We then go through the same exercise by engaging frown muscles. And so I say, okay, now frown. When you engage your frown muscles, when you do the ugly crying, when you're just frustrated, and right now I'm doing it with my face. My eyebrows are furrowed, and the corners of my mouth are down, and there's just a tension in my face. And even though right now I have no reason to be upset or angry, it kind of produces the same chemistry in my body as being upset and tense. So we have this built into us, this idea of fake it till you make it. And I want to give a few more examples. And my hope is that you will just kind of trust yourself that the next time, you're having a bad day or something like that, you'll be able to do something positive. You'll be able to fake it just a little bit and maybe start turning your body's chemistry around or start encouraging your spirit, however you want to frame it, whether it's, changing your body's chemistry if you're more of the science, from the science vantage point, or whether it's, just encouraging your spirit if you want to take it from a spiritual standpoint. But let me show you something. So I have this picture right here. So I've got this, I believe she's a Laotian girl. And I want you to look at, now, first of all, let's just look at this, because even just looking at her face probably lightens your spirit a little bit. In other words, just looking at her face and having that energy come into you, you are experiencing a certain chemistry in your body. Your spirit is being lifted just by seeing her smile, just by seeing her cheeks. I mean, look at the kind of the sparkle in her eye. I mean, this image, to me, this image just kind of brings joy. It just kind of sends out this energy, even though it's just an image. It sends out this energy of positivity, of joy, this intention. And this is kind of where we're going at with this. The idea that you can fake it till you make it. Let me give you a couple other examples where you can fake it until you make it. And so I want to give like a negative example right now. So alcoholics, people who are addicted to alcohol, if they are going through the cycle and getting, let's just say it's the next day, they've woken up, they had a hangover, they still have alcohol in their system, and now they're experiencing all the withdrawal symptoms of the alcohol. What's interesting is that when 5 o'clock starts rolling around, if a person who is addicted to alcohol even starts to think about their next drink, what's interesting is your body starts producing the same chemistry as if your body actually had the drink. Your body anticipates a relief in the withdrawal symptomology that is associated with alcohol addiction. So our bodies are designed to learn and take in the environment and can actually start producing the same chemistry before we actually come into what we would consider physical contact with the chemical. So it's this idea, and I remember in my practicum, I had asked my supervisor, I had said, because we were talking about this, I said, so in a way what we could say is that if a person is addicted to alcohol, as soon as the drink is put in front of you, even without touching the drink, you can, in effect, start putting on a buzz. And that is actually accurate. Like your body is anticipating, and it will start feeling better simply because it's anticipating that there's going to be some relief in the symptomology associated with withdrawal symptoms. So alcohol is a great example of how our bodies can predict, how you can actually put the intention in and of itself. I always think of the movie scene where the alcoholic goes into the bar and they sit down at the bar and the bartender puts a shot of something, in front of them, and they just sit there and stare at it. That could actually be somewhat helpful. I'm not sure that an alcoholic should put themselves in that position. But again, just the idea that relief is in sight can sometimes help us with our symptoms. So that would be more of a negative example. But seeing food, if you have a craving, if you see something like a sour candy and your mouth starts to salivate, that's another example of your body is anticipating, and it's going through the chemistry, the chemical changes of actually anticipating having something that you're craving. If you're driving on a long trip and let's just say you're going on a vacation. I think about the time when my kids were little, we used to drive to Florida, and there were times at night, because I would go straight through, drive right through the night. And there were times when I just got tired, and all of a sudden I would start thinking about our destination, thinking about getting away from the snow, getting to Florida where it's going to be warm, we're going to get sunshine. And I remember just having those thoughts produce this chemistry in my body where it's like I woke up and I became more attentive and more excited about my destination. Another example is, think about your partner. Think about the sexual arousal response. That you just have to think about your partner, or you just have to see somebody attractive, and your body's chemistry will start working, and things will actually start flowing, if I can put it that way. But we can actually start changes in our body, start reactions in our body, both chemical and physical reactions in our bodies, simply with the anticipation. And so the idea of faking it till you make it is an important one. So here's kind of the pragmatic kind of nuts and bolts thing I want to leave you with. If you're having a bad day, so let's just say you're just kind of down, I want you to sit up straight. I want you to put your shoulders back. And I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to engage all of your smile muscles. You're going to experience not only the physical change of you reshaping your face, but you're going to experience some of the chemistry change too, in terms of the good chemicals are going to start being produced simply by you engaging those smile muscles. Another way to put it is, if you have a chance, look up, what is the name of it's the Saturday Night Live. I think it's Gary Smalley. He's a therapist, and it's one of the older sketches, but I think it's Gary Smalley, something intentions, and he's doing this interview with Michael Jordan. And he has this phrase where he looks in the mirror and he says, "You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you." He's doing, kind of making, kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke about some of these intentions, but the psychology behind it is pretty clear. These intentions actually do work. So if you're having a bad day, it does work to go look in the mirror and smile, engage those muscles, and then just say to yourself, you're going to have a good day. And as corny as that might sound to some people, it can actually have a positive effect. And there is significant empirical and certainly anecdotal evidence that it does work. So fake it till you make it. When we talk next, we're going to go back into racism a little bit and talk about the importance of not being a bystander, of actually doing something when you hear something. All right, my friends, namaste. That just makes you happy, doesn't it? I had to talk more. Look at that. That has to just give you positive energy. Namaste, my friends.